Hey everyone, Eric here. I decided to go live with a very unique video this time instead of talking directly about INFJs and specific features about us and so forth and so on. I'm still going to be talking about us, but I decided to do something a little bit different and involve other people in this message, this video. So the title of this video is Love Motivates INFJs. Now this can be interpreted a few different ways, but let me see if I can't break it down in its simplest form. What motivates an INFJ to act is love, and what motivates us to become inspired and to come up with new ideas is love. And what encourages us is love, and what inspires us is love. Now, I am not talking the American version of love. Oh, I love apples. Oh, I love you after looking at your body. No, that's lust. I am talking the biblical version of love. Whether or not you believe in the Bible is completely irrelevant. If you want to know about INFJs, here it is. If you want to know about INFJs, how to motivate us and what motivates us, what goes through our heart, we're naturally selfless people. I'm going to read to you the biblical definition, and it's going, if you're an INFJ or you know an INFJ, they're going to agree 100% with this. It lines up completely with our desires and what we need out of a relationship and what we naturally love to give to other people. We just love it. We just love giving to other people in this way. It's just natural to us. So if you want to follow along in the Bible, it is 1 Corinthians chapter 13. You can, if you have a Bible, you can open up to it or you can read it online. Love is indispensable is the title. And I'm going to read verse 4 through 7. It says this: love is patient and it is kind. So what motivates an INFJ, you can just take out the word love and abbreviate, but it's love in all of these aspects. Love is patient, love is kind. It does not envy or want what other people has. Different than jealousy, envy is what Cain had when he killed Abel. I don't care if I have God's favor, I just don't want you to have it. And envy murders. Where jealousy wants what somebody else has, envy doesn't care if you have it, you just don't want them to have it. It's usually is followed by bitterness or malice. But love is patient, it is kind, and it does not envy. In other words, love doesn't care if somebody else has something, and it doesn't care if we have it. We just want you to have it. And it does not boast. The moment somebody else feels loved and we feel like we helped someone, we're rejoicing in the fact that we helped them. And rather than say, yeah, I helped you, we're saying, I'm so happy for you. It's natural to us. We get such joy out of seeing you happy, out of seeing you satisfied and fulfilled. It motivates us and it fills our heart, for better lack of terms, it makes our hearts feel really squishy. And we're just tender. And we love it. We love it. It does not boast. It is not proud. That means even whenever we feel like we're full of pride, we'd sooner swallow our pride for the sole sake of your needs being met. We want to. Now, do we fall short sometimes? Yeah, everyone does. Even me. Does it happen less today, more than other days? I honestly think it depends on the INFJ and their surrounding. I want to say yes. The reasoning for this is because more and more society has kind of defined itself here in America as very selfish, and that means that we have smaller social circles, and the ones that we do have are ones we want to maintain our friendships with. So I think yes, it happens more today. INFJs swallow their pride more often today than they did 5-10 years ago, and even more 5 and 10 years ago than 20 years ago. And I think this is happening because people more and more are showing their naturally hateful colors. Children are spiting their parents and stealing and or from the age of 8, they have a foul-mouthed tongue and have no regard or respect for other individuals. And you can more and more and more society is becoming everything that Jesus said it was going to be, a very rebellious people. And I think that this is causing us INFJs to actually surface, and this is a good thing. And again, this isn't the message. You're coming for basic INFJ message. These are our qualities. You came to the wrong video. This is a very archaic one. Still about us. But I'm kind of covering a couple different issues that I've not found addressed, and I think, honestly, it's an interesting topic. And let me know what you think in the description. Let me know your thoughts, if you agree, if you disagree, and yeah, talk to me. Get engaged. Actually make my channel a community. Subscribe so that it grows more. Like the video so that it appears on more people's news feeds, and let's honestly make this a community. But I think that more INFJs are surfacing because we're seeing so much hate in the world and in America, and in different regions across the world, even in Japan and Afghanistan and Iraq, and heck, all the way to New Zealand and Russia. We're seeing so much hate across the world that INFJs are beginning to show in society. It's almost like the chameleon colors that we had are no longer working, because the world is becoming a black and white world. You can clearly see what's wrong and right. And there are some people who say, well, black is the new white, and white is the new black, if you catch what I'm trying to say. But then there's us INFJs who don't follow the trend of the world. And I really think it's causing us to no longer blend into society, but we're actually starting to show. And people are recognizing us, and we're gaining status. And this is a good thing, in my opinion, because it means that while other people are walking in the tide of the world, so to speak, we're not. And that's causing everyone's eyes to be on us, and I think that's a good thing. I don't know, because on the one hand, we're like the target for hate, and on the other hand, we are the target for change. We're like the center for the change. So I think it's a good thing in the sense that we have so much power and authority. The more the world walks into darkness, the more I'm seeing INFJs have the power to change, because our words are so inspirational and they come from the heart, and they're words of love, and that's something the world is lacking. And I think that people who are so deprived of love are seeing that in us, and they're being drawn towards us, like moths to a flame. And I think that we're that flame, but that doesn't mean that it comes without oil. No, and oil and water can't mix. So you have some people who are bringing oil and it makes the flame brighter, and you have some people who just want to put out the fire. And the fire is never going to be put out because it's who we are. We are naturally selfless people. We want to love. And I understand it hurts. And it's usually a grieving process as the dampness of the water kind of sits on our hearts, and it causes us to be wounded and feel fatigued, and like we don't know if we can even get the flame burning again. And then more people come over and say, hey, I saw how you dealt with that, and I just want to say I think it's pretty amazing that you fill in the blank, and how much you were concerned about the other person's well-being even though you were hurting. And then it's like the dampness is covered with oil, and it's harder to put out the fire in the same spot a second time. Almost like our scars are healing over, and we're becoming more and more immune to the same types of hurt. So that's just a thought. Tell me what you think in the comments. But love is patient and kind. It doesn't envy. It doesn't boast. It's not proud. It doesn't behave itself rudely. What that means is, in a social situation or any situation, we're not going to run our mouth and say F you and F the world and you effing fill in whatever slur or slander you want. That's not an INFJ's natural trait. Can we be that way? Yeah, but it usually means that we're I wouldn't even classify us as INFJs at that point. I would just say that we're one of the black and whites in the world, and if an INFJ has gone that far, in my opinion, they're lost. I don't consider them one of us, because real INFJs, the trademark about the INFJ is that we're naturally selfless, and we want to love other people, and we're motivated by love. Yeah, there's intuition. but that's usually not noticeable by other people. What is noticeable from the world around us as INFJs is love. That is what people see. They see selflessness, and they see someone who's not judgmental. That is the trademark of an INFJ. That people see. For us, it's our intuition. For everyone else, it's the way we naturally understand people and are forgiving because we understand that they messed up, and we understand why they messed up, and we understand what their faults and failures are and why they struggle with it, and that leads us to want to help them. And that's what people see when they look at us. They see someone who's selfless and wants to love. That's our trademark to the world. And then we have it keeps no record of wrongs. While this type of love is a Holy Spirit love in relation to the Bible, it's very biblical. I want to be honest with you because I can't stand lying. I can't stand being fake. I just have to be honest. Again, this video is going to get lots of dislikes because I came to learn about INFJs. How dare you preach to me? How dare you have such a sense of arrogance? You don't want to hear it? Then stop watching the video. You know, go spend the next 50 years of your life doing whatever you want, and whenever you're on your deathbed, maybe then you'll think about your own faith. You know, what you do with your life is none of my concern. But if you want to trash talk me just because you feel haughty and arrogant, you got your own issues to worry about. Stop watching the video. I'm going to get lots of dislikes because people are, how dare you make this about religion? This is psychology and fact, and God's not real. And look, guess what? I'm talking about INFJs. You're talking about your own faith. It's not related. Get over yourself and get back on track. We're talking about INFJs here. Alright, so this is a very biblical faith. I don't see this in an INFJ who does not have a faith in Christ and works daily to keep the scriptures and the Word of God. And I'm not saying I believe in Jesus and never read the Bible. I'm talking about people who study it, who try to apply it to their life. People who actively read and say, I want to be more like this. Who read Proverbs and gain wisdom. I don't see this type of love in anyone else. But it keeps no record of wrongs. And what that means is after we forgive someone and we say, I understand that you did this, we never bring that back up. We don't think about it. We don't hold it against them in their heart. Did it happen? Absolutely. We don't forget that it happened. We just really quit caring that it happened because, quite frankly, they apologized and it happened. It happened. They said sorry. They didn't mean it. They showed remorse. So therefore, it's irrelevant now. They can't undo their past, but I can certainly overlook it. That's the kind of love that it's talking about here. And it's a consistent over and over habit. I don't see that in someone an INFJ who doesn't continually read the scriptures. However, I see it in other personality types who continually read the scriptures and try to apply it to their life. Just some thought to chew on. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. Again, INFJs hate lies. We hate falsehood. We hate deceptiveness. We hate manipulation. We hate a lying tongue. We hate deceivers. We hate people who aren't themselves. And we certainly hate injustice. And that is true about us. And love always protects. It always wants to protect other people. It's always thinking about them and making sure they're safe. And we're naturally protective by nature. When we are in a relationship with someone, we're naturally protective of that person. And we always trust people, which is sometimes to a fault. We do. Do we test them? Absolutely. Do we socialize with people who we don't trust? Generally, no. We don't. Do we really, really want to help people who we don't trust? Yeah, but do we do it? No, because we don't trust them. We don't even socialize with them. So the people that we are friends with, hey, you need $20? Sure. You don't have to pay me back. I just hope you get what you need taken care of. We don't think that they're going to take that $20 and then go spend it on eating out because they need food. We hope that they're going to go to the store. And we just trust that they're going to do exactly that. We're naturally giving. We're generous. And what we do with our generosity usually doesn't have much thought following. We're just focused in the moment about helping that person. So in that regard, we're naturally trusting. And honestly usually comes to bite us in the butt, because people aren't quite as selfless as us when it comes to the idea of trusting and keeping that standard of respect. It's just true. INFJs respect other people, and we're constantly thinking about them. Other people just aren't. Even if we trust them, usually they let us down. From my personal experience, if you have a different experience, comment below and share it with me. I'd love to hear about whether it be a good thing, a good testimony, or whether it be about a specific time or circumstance in your life whenever you trusted someone and maybe they did or didn't come through, or how that played out. Let me know your story in the comments. And then love always hopes. INFJs are idealists. We're constantly thinking of what can be. We're constantly thinking this could be, a relationship still can be, and it's honestly not always realistic, but we're hopeful. We think with such high ideals and such a high vision that sometimes it never comes to pass, but my relationship with so and so could be this, and therefore, even though there's just a slimmer of hope left and we're not really connecting with each other, I think if we connected, it could become this reality. So we're always hoping, and sometimes to our fault, because anytime our hopeful ideals aren't met, it leaves us feeling sick to our stomach and depressed. But we just keep hoping again. We just keep doing it. I don't know why. I don't have the answer. Sometimes I wish we weren't so hopeful, because it gets us hurt a lot. A lot. And I think that's kind of why we're so hard on ourselves, is so often our hopeful expectations aren't met, and we wonder, did I do something wrong to keep them from being met? You didn't do anything wrong. It's just sometimes we don't think them through as realistic. We think of what can be, but we don't think of the fact that it involves other people to get there. And the realistic fact is, other people don't share that same ideal. 95, maybe 96% of the time. Overshooting, I don't think so, because I'm talking all the relationships INFJs have with other people, and we only have like 4, maybe 3 people in our life that we actively connect with. So 90% of the time, maybe 80% of the time out of our 3 relationships, people don't share those same ideals, and it gets us hurt. So I think it's more we have to become self-aware than anything. I don't really think it's a bad thing that we're so hopeful. I just think we need to become more self-aware of what our expectations actually are, and are they realistic? Is it actually going to happen? Yeah, it's a nice idea, but I just don't think it's realistic. I think we need to get into the mindset of recognizing when we're on our creative, hopeful sprees and our heart starts fluttering inside of our chest like a butterfly, and we get butterflies in our stomach, and then it's just, oh, la la land, and everything's sunny and rainbows, and look, the butterflies, the birds are chirping, and oh, there's flowers, and oh, there's that person that I'm thinking about. And we don't realize that it's just not realistic, because we're just so caught up in the moment, and it feels so good to think of wishful thinking. It's wishful thinking. And is it realistic? Sometimes, yeah. And that's the beautiful thing about it, is we dream big. But we need to recognize when our dreams aren't realistic because they involve someone else in order to get there. And we need to realize when those dreams can become reality, but we need to accept the fact that there is sometimes a very high statistic that they're not going to come true. I do this a lot. I'm a very mathematical thinker. I'm very intelligent, so I end up thinking in statistics. There is a 5% probability that this is going to play out the way I'm expecting it to. What's likely going to happen, and I'd say it's about a 75% chance, 3 out of 4 chance, that he's going to meet me in the middle and then stop pursuing an interest with me. Hit so-and-so friend is thinking about playing chess. There's an 85% chance he's going to play 2 games and not want to play with me again, just because he's not a thinker. He doesn't engage his brain very often, and therefore he's not used to the craving of knowledge. But there's a 15% chance that he will recognize the signs something feels different and continue pursuing because he wants to know what that feeling is. He doesn't seek knowledge, so there's only a 15% chance, give or take, that he'll actually do that, but there's still a chance. I see what can be. I see someone who can start spending more time in my personal hobbies, and shogi, and chess, and mind games, and strategy games. I'll give it a shot. I'll spend my time. No, I'm not getting that time back, but I'll spend that time invested in him and see what comes out of it. We have to realize that there's not always a 100% chance it's going to play out the way we think it was, the way we hope it will. So, some thought for food. Tell me what you think. Tell me if you agree. Tell me if you disagree. Tell me if you have any better strategies. Tell me if you think that maybe I'm wrong, honestly. I could be wrong, and if you can convince me and your reasoning is sound, I'll honestly take it. And I'll pin your comment, and people will see it. Yeah, I've got no problem with being wrong, but I'm like 95 to 96% certain of everything I say in my videos as being incredibly accurate, if not spot on. So, you let me know what you think in the comments. And then the final one is, it always perseveres. And this is so true. Perseverance. We've got to tough it out. We can't give up. We said we're going to do something. I said I'm in this relationship. I'm not in this relationship for a fling. I'm going to try to make it work. It's been 2 years, and I don't feel like I've grown a whole lot with you, but I said I'm in it for the long haul. I chose a friend for life. When I pick a friend, I pick a friend for life. If they leave my life, that's completely different than me leaving theirs. I chose a friend for life. I didn't say you test someone and then decide after 6 months to stop being their friend. That's completely different than saying you are my friend. If an INFJ calls you their friend, take that to heart. That is powerful. That is the equivalent of an extrovert calling 30 people their friends and then combining that into one. If an INFJ calls you their friend, that is rare. You are probably one of two, if not the only person they actually consider a friend. To an INFJ, a friend is someone who maintains constant connection with them and continues to grow in their relationship with them. That is valuable. I have one friend. I'm not kidding you. He's my best friend. I've known him for 3 years. We talk every day, sometimes 3 hours a day. And that's another thing. An INFJ can talk on the phone with you for 2 hours straight because we just love bonding with people. We crave bonding. We crave the connection. INFJs have no problem persevering whenever it produces results. I have one friend. His name is Gabriel. One friend. And every other person I used to have 4. One by one. Tyler left. Travis left. I had another friend who didn't pursue a relationship. I've known him for like 18 years. He was my best friend growing up, but he hasn't really made a constant effort to connect with me. He says, I'm busy. I get that you work 6 days a week, but what about the 3 hours you're not busy? You don't even reach out to me. You don't make a phone call. So do I consider him a friend? More like an acquaintance that I can connect with as a friend. Like, not an active friend, but like, give us an hour of hanging out and we're technically friends again. It's just like that connection just, boom, reestablishes. So I guess you could say I kind of consider him a friend, but the concept of constant communication, I have one. My best friend, Gabriel. And while everyone else left, you know what he did? He said, that's wrong. I'm sorry that happened to you. And he made an effort to connect with me even more. He spent more time talking to me. I will never, ever forget that man's kindness. He is my best friend till the day I die. I've already determined in my heart, I don't care if I meet new people or reconnect with old friends. He's going to be the man at my wedding, my best man. I've made it up in my mind. He is my best friend till the day I die. Why? Because an INFJ values their time, and if they have a friendship with you for 3 years, then another person comes in and starts connecting with them for 3 hours a day, and you're still connecting with them for 2 to 3 hours a day, person who's been their friend longer will always have the advantage. Why? Because they have connection with us and they've had it longer, and that is valuable. And you can never, ever replace time in our mind. You gave me your life. 3 more years of your life than that person gave me. I will never take that for granted. You gave me your life. 3 more years of your life that you will never get back, and you gave it to me? That is honorable. I feel privileged that you would give me 3 years of your life. More than that, You gave me an hour a day of your life every day. You're not getting that time back, and you gave it to me, and you still work full time, and you still spend 3 hours a day talking to your girlfriend, and you still sleep for 8 hours, 5 to 8 hours a night, and you still make time for your own hobbies, and you spend 3 hours talking to me some days and 3 hours, playing games with me. Who am I that you would devote such time to me? And then you make time 40 minutes a day for your roommates, and then 30 minutes just to make sure you keep connected with your other friends, Bryce and whoever else. And then you make time for your family, and you make that much time for me. I'm honored. That is what an INFJ says. That's a friend. That's someone I'm keeping for life. And we persevere whenever we see a relationship like that. That includes personal relationships. So, those are 7 trademarks of love that are explicit to an INFJ. Tell me if you agree or disagree, and any areas you might struggle with. Let me know how I can pray for you in the comments. And tell me some stories about how you personally feel you've been loved or have been able to love other people. Tell me some stories in the comments. Share some of your life stories. I'd love to comment them. I'd love to read them. I'd love to give you my time. And I'd love to honor your time and give you my feedback if you want it. And just pour into you. You deserve it. So comment below. Tell me your story in the comments. And thanks for your time. Be blessed.